Kia ora everyone, and welcome back after a long hiatus. Today we will be discussing the life, mission, and martyrdom of Jerzy Popiełuszko, which will be the last time that I attempt this last name until the end of the video. Father Jerzy is a bit of a renowned Cold War hero in Poland, and with the Polish being one of the largest demographics on my channel, cześć! This is for all of you being such ardent supporters after my Battle of Vitsna video. And to my Finnish viewers, how do I pronounce that? Hyvää päivää. Hyvää päivää. We'll come back to that. Okay, thank you. And to my Finnish viewers, hyvää päivää. I'll be coming for you guys next. Now, some background of the landscape of Poland following the Second World War. After the collapse of the German Reich and the Soviet conquest of Eastern Europe, communism obviously became a mainstay in the day-to-day lives of those living behind the Iron Curtain. Part of this regime included the deliberate disenfranchisement and persecution of the Catholic Church and her clergy. The communist government were hell-bent on reducing the church's influence on public life and the promotion of atheism during this time. The Office of Religious Affairs exerted an extreme amount of pressure on decisions such as the ordination of bishops, often attempting to block the election of those they deemed to be potentially dangerous to the regime. Notably, Karol Wojtyła slipped through this crack. You may know him better as Pope St. John Paul II, and this mistake had a massive influence on the downfall of communism in Poland as well as the entire Iron Curtain. Jerzy was born on the 14th of September 1947, the same year that communism was officially ushered into Poland. As a young man, he went straight to the seminary after completing school, but was dragged away from 1966 to 1968 for compulsive military service. Undeterred, he returned to the seminary after the completion of his service and was ordained a priest in the May of 1972 by the famous primate of the millennium, Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński. From his ordination, Father Jerzy would serve as a parish priest in and around Warsaw, before joining the steelworks protests in 1981, and later becoming a symbol of workers and opposition to the communist government. He was closely associated with the Solidarity movement, a trade union that rose to prominence as part of the Gdansk shipyard strike, in response to the firing of a woman 5 months before her retirement in 1980. Father Jerzy continued to be a beacon of non-violent opposition to the communist government, even in the wake of the declaration of martial law in December of 1981. He leveraged his position as a priest to oppose communist rule in his homilies during Mass, which is one of the few approved public assemblies allowed during this time. He also utilized the technology of the time to broadcast these homilies over the airways throughout Poland over Radio Free Europe. Father Jerzy attracted thousands of people to his Masses, hosting special Masses for the Homeland on the last Sunday of every month. He became a key member of the Solidarity movement, with people flocking to his office in Warsaw on official business. As you could possibly imagine, this whole debacle didn't sit well with the communist government and their cronies. They had already tried to dissuade him from becoming a priest as a young man, which clearly hadn't worked, and as was all the rage for the time period, decided that some convoluted assassination attempts would be the remedy they needed for the bad-mouthing reverend. In 1982, the authorities attempted to bomb the presbytery and kill Father Jerzy there, which he managed to evade. He was later arrested on trumped-up charges in 1983, but was released shortly thereafterwards. It was revealed during this time that a message was sent from Pope John Paul II to the Archbishop of Warsaw that read, "Defend Father Jerzy, or they'll start finding weapons in the desk of every second bishop." Father Jerzy managed to evade danger for another year, while the Polish secret police, unsatisfied with his continuing mockery of them, devised a Plan A, B, and C. Plan A was that Father Jerzy would be pushed from a moving train, which never made it to fruition. Plan B determined that he would be the unfortunate victim of a colourful traffic accident, which, on the 13th of October, he managed to swiftly evade a swerving car that intended to kill him then. Fed up with him, the authorities had no choice but to resort to the brutal Plan C: kidnap, torture, and murder the Polish priest. On the fateful night of 19th of October 1984, only 6 days after his last assassination attempt, 3 secret police agents ambushed Father Jerzy near the town of Gorsk. He was viciously beaten by the gang, bound tightly with ropes, and thrown into the boot of their car, where he was driven to a secret location. The specific events of what transpired during his capture remain a mystery. Evidence suggests that he was brutally beaten further and tortured, with rope burns showing sign that he was strangled around the neck. It is unclear whether the agents were trying to extract information or a confession from him, but most likely they wanted to send a message to any further dissidents and members of the church. His body was carelessly disposed of in a reservoir near Włocławek. where it wouldn't be discovered until the 30th of October, weighed down with stones under the water. The disappearance of someone so beloved and prominent wasn't kept quiet for long. Public pressure grew, and the authorities later admitted to the unjust killing of the priest. The 3 secret police agents and their superior were later convicted, with those responsible for his murder receiving prison sentences. A funeral was held on the 3rd of November with an estimated 600,000 to 1 million mourners in attendance. He was buried at St. Stanislaus Kostka Church in Warsaw, and his tomb remains an important place of pilgrimage in remembrance of his martyrdom and the continuous Polish struggle for freedom and self-determination. A case remains for the canonization of Father Jerzy Popiełuszko, with one miracle attributed to him in France in 2013. It is currently under investigation by the Vatican. He was beatified and deemed worthy of veneration on June 10, 2010. The ceremony was conducted as an open-air mass by the Italian Archbishop Angelo Amato. The attendance of over 100,000 people speaks of the lasting impact that the martyred priest had made on Poland as one of the great heroes of the Cold War. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this video and have something to reflect on for the rest of the day. Please remember to subscribe, as I will be making more videos like this and whatever else you guys request. Also, please like the video and leave a comment about what you thought. This really helps for the algorithm. Thank you all, and Blessed Father Jerzy Popiełuszko, pray for us.
Modlitwa serc udręczonych jest zawsze skuteczna i owocna. Stoimy dzisiaj przy ołtarzu